Volume is one of the most parts of trading that I don't know why, but somebody somehow deleted that part from technical analysis. It's like an X-ray pictures of market and candles, and it is the pressure that moves the market higher or that moves the market lower, but they deleted that from technical analysis. And today we are going to talk about bar volumes and how we can use that in our daily trading. Hello, how are you? Mehran here, your trading companion, and today we are going to talk about a very important, very strong concept named volume. So take your volumes down to hear what I'm going to exactly say. The volume is an important deleted part of technical analysis that someone somewhere didn't want us to know about it, and I'm not bragging. Why I'm saying that? Because when you want to see what works and what doesn't work on the markets, you should pay attention to first what the heads are saying. Excuse me for using the head, because it is something that technical analysis books talk about when they talk about the retail traders. Anyway, I'm a retail trader as well, but I can't find any other good terminology. Excuse me for using the herd, but anyway, so you should pay attention first what the herd is saying, like the technical analysis isn't working, and what the institutions are not saying. So what we have here, when you pay attention to heads, they say the technical analysis doesn't work. They want to have, I don't know, 10%, 15%, 40% a month in profits. They don't know anything about the volume. They are just bouncing from one method to another method, and they don't have a deep knowledge about one methodology. Why? Because they don't know about volume, because all the methodologies work with volume. For example, you can't cut a bird's left wing and except that the bird will fly with one wing. The volume is the left wing of technical analysis, and you can see that on old books of technical analysis and on those resources. But now we can see that nobody is talking about the volume. So when nobody is talking about something and the institutions show us that no, the volume doesn't work, the volume is decentralized, the volume is not valid, so you should pay attention to that thing they are disliking, or they show that they are disliking, but the truth is something else. So the technical analysis works, but not the technical analysis that Herd is using, because they don't allow themselves to get deep and get mastered in one methodology. They see the technical analysis, the classical technical analysis, and they stick to that for 2 months. Then they hear about volume trading 2 months, RTM 2 months, SMC 2 months, liquidity trading 2 months, Elliott waves 2 months, Gann trading 2 months. And when you are bouncing from one branch to another branch, you won't get mastered in a methodology. And what those institutions are not talking about, what are they hiding? They are hiding the mindset. I have some Persian channels and I observe what happens there. I have a channel that is some podcasts about psychology of trading, money management, and risk management. And that channel is only about 200 people on that channel. But in my technical analysis channel, those are more than 10,000 or 50,000, 15,000 of people. So they don't pay attention to psychology. So first thing is psychology and money management. Another thing they don't want you to know is about the volume trading. They even deleted that part from technical books. You can't find any new technical books that new price action technical books that have some kinds of deep understanding of even bar volumes on that. Another thing is return on investment. When you see Warren Buffett and those big investors, you can see that they have return on investment of 5%, 10%, 9% of a year. For example, Warren Buffett, his return on investment is about 10% or 9% a year. But when you read the books, you see the courses, you can see that they are teaching you a 30 minutes strategy, and they say that you can trade for 40% a month. No, you can't. You should be patient as those investors, and you should be persistent, and you should manage your money. So another important thing is mindset and real expectations. Anyway, let's talk about volume. Today we are going to talk about bar volume and its spread. What is bar volume? You can go here in old little trading view and type volume, and you can add this volume, and it is the bar volume. And what is a single bar? You can see that, for example, this candle has this volume in it. So it is a single volume for this candle. It means that in this period of time, that is 1 day, in this big candle, this volume has been trading. Does volume means buying or selling? I don't care. Volume is activity. So a high volume is higher activity, and a low volume is lower activity. So here we have high activity in this candle, and this high activity is because it started to go higher, that we are going to talk about. So it is a single volume. But what is volume spread? Volume spread is a bunch of volumes that are in a sequence or they are near each other. So from here to here, for example, it is the volume spread, and the activity is decreasing, and that's the reason why it started to go lower. So when we talk about a single bar volume, so when we say that it is a high volume bar, we are talking about just a candle's volume. But when we are talking about a spread of volume, we are talking about a bunch of volumes and a bunch of bars. For example, why this movement happened? Because you can see the spread is decreasing, and you can see this high volume bar, and we are going to talk about those. So we have something that is just for one candle, and something that is for a period of time, and a bunch of candles. That is going to be the spread of the volume. So what does it mean when we say that volume is activity? Volume is showing us how serious is a battle between buyers and sellers in a price. So when the market hits a level, that can be support and resistance level, that can be an imbalance, that can be liquidity points, that can be anything. Always there will be a very serious war between buyers and sellers. And after the market started to go up or started to go down, we can conclude that buyers win or sellers win. So high volume means a high activity and a very serious battle, and low volume means a low activity, and most of the time that zone will work. Anyway, let's talk about this in a bigger picture. Like other shallow, weak understanding of the market, there are a lot of shallow, weak understanding of the volume. But a very high bar volume doesn't mean that, for example, that trend is going to continue its movement. A very high, I mean a massive bar volume, especially when we are in an exhausted trend, I mean exhausted that has 2 legs or 3 legs, a massive bar volume is going to show us that there is a high chance of reversal, not a high chance of continuation. It may be weird, but we are going to see that on a bigger picture. I'm going to zoom out the chart and show you. You can see that we have a very high volume here, and we have even high volume on these selling candles, but you can see that the market starts to rally, and after that we should see a volume like this. When we saw this volume, these kinds of volume, we can say that this bunch of spread is going to be a good area for the market to reverse. Why this one didn't reverse the market? Because it's on a buying movement. It was on a selling movement. It was on a buy, on a candle that continued its movement. So when we want to see if these movements and these activities are a reversal or continuation, we can wait until the market confirms itself. For example, we had a high volume bar here. It is this candle. Let's see. And after that we had some bar volumes that were buying volumes. When we can confirm that this is a reversal, when these candles break a structure that we talked about, what is a structure, what is a break of structure in this channel, and you can see those videos, and even we talked about kinds of break of structure, and even we talked about how we can take trades after this. I don't want to talk about entries in this video. Anyway, you can see that these buy volumes continued the market to upward and broke this structure, so it is a valid reversal point. But why it didn't happen on this high volume? Did the market confirm this volume? Yes, it confirmed this volume, but it confirmed this volume with break of this structure and this structure, so it is a buying activity. Let's see other examples. You can see that before this high volume node, and after this high volume node, we have a candle that is a very powerful confirmation for buys, and that is an absorption candle. What does mean an absorption? It is a high volume candle that its shadow is long, so it shows that all the buyers absorbed this activity and they broke this structure, and after that you can enter the market on this imbalance and you can see the results. It is not a very good example. Let's talk about other kinds of examples. Why this candle didn't work? Because first, it is an absorption candle and it is a sign of selling pressure, but the market confirmed this to the sales. So when we have a high volume candle and the market breaks this low and continues its work, it is going to be a continuation. Where we have other kinds of high volumes, you can see that we have that here, and it is an absorption and the market starts to go higher. And some other important thing is that the spread is going lower, so this is just a pullback. We are going to talk about this on other videos. We just want to talk about how very big volumes and very massive volumes shows us that a big institution or some big players have entered the market, and after that confirmation that I talked about, and it is a break of structure, those institutions decided to buy or sell the market. Another example is going to be here. We want to see just massive volumes. For example, this was a massive volume, but this volume was higher, so we can wait until this or this volume gets validated, and we can say that this volume came up and broke this volume, so this is more powerful. Why this candle worked not as reversal but as continuation? Because it came down and it broke the structure. Where we have high volumes, it is an order block. We don't want to talk about that right now. You can see it is not high volume, but it is a high volume here, this candle, and you can see the results. You can see how it started to go lower from this high volume. We are going to talk about those things. So when we have a very high volume on a candle, we can say that it is high activity. We wait until confirmation, and after that we can buy or sell the market in lower time frames. For example, you can see that here we have another absorption. This candle, it has a lot of volumes, and what happened? It came up and broke this structure. What about this candle? Did this candle broke the structure? No. But it is the same as this candle, and you can see that it is a buy candle, it is another buy candle. Those candles broke this structure, so we can enter the trade after this movement. And here we can see that we have a high volume candle here that came down, broke the structure. But which candle did that? This candle did that, and you can see that it worked, and it couldn't come higher than that candle. It broke the structure, so we can see the results. Before that, where we have a very high volume candle, it is not 100%, but you can see that we have another one right here. After that, you can enter the market for lower time frames, but it didn't break the structure, so you should wait for that. We have something here. It is important. Why? Because it is some kind of high volume. It is not that high volume I want to see, but it is a high volume. You can see that it came up and it broke this structure, so we can start to buy in lower time frames. Another example is here. We have a low volume here. Did it break the high? No. So when the low is getting broken, we can say that this high volume is fuel for the market to go down. Another big important mistake that some traders take is that they think that this volume is going to work right here. No, this volume has a life shell. Why? Because it is injection of a lot of selling orders or buying orders. Even if it is buy orders, for example, an institution thought that it is going to higher prices and started to buy in this candle. What this institution is going to do after it comes down? It is going to sell its buys, so it is going to make selling pressure, and the market will go lower. So when we have a very high volume on a candle, we can say that it is activity, and that candle is fuel, so it can ride this car for a period of the time. So you should pay attention to that. When we have some kind of high volume like this and this at the start of a movement, so we should wait until we have something like this volume. We can see that on this movement on this volume bar and on this volume bar or bar volume. So we should see something as strong as these bars, and after that we can say that this trend is over. So we have a lot of volume here as well, but it is a little tricky. Let's see other high volumes. You can see something here that is a good example. It is a high volume, it came up and broke this structure, so we can write this trend to this point. After that, let's see what we have here. We have this candle. It is an order block. Why? Because it is a high volume candle, and you can see that it got touched and started to go down. And let's see if it has, and boom. So when we want to see the start and ends of trend, we go and see if there is high activity on there or there is high volume on there. We can see that here, and for finishing that movement we should see high volume as well. You can see that here it is high volume, so we should have something like this to end the trend. So high volume doesn't mean continuation. Sometimes it means, but when the market continues its movement. So when the market is continuing its movement, it shows us that that volume is in the direction of the market. But when we have something like this and it come and break this structure, we can say that it is our order block, and we can go and see that it flipped here. So it didn't pay attention to this because it is a very old order block, and it came down and it became a breaker block. Anyway, so another high volume node is here. You can see the movement. Another high volume node, if I zoom in, you can see that it is here and continued its movement. We have something here and it went up. So not in that candle, but we pay attention what happens after that candle, and we can say that it is going to work. So what we had here, high volumes, very massive high volume candles, means that we have a high activity in some prices, and when the market decides to break that structure or to reverse the market or to continue the market, we can say that that special price and that special area is very important for institutions, and we can decide if that is a reversal like here, like even here, and like something like here. We can say that it is a reversal or it is a continuation like here. So high volume bars, after they validate themselves by breaking a structure, are very important for us. Are they zones? We are going to talk about them. Not all of them are zones, but yes, they can act as zones. But the important thing is that when this happens, the market is going to have a massive movement after a period of time, and when that movement starts, we can go and take trades in that direction in lower time frames. It is a little bit complex for first watch, so go and watch it for the second time, the third time. I am showing you some very advanced concepts here, so you should watch videos after and after and after, and you are going to get what I'm saying. I'm going to teach you this concept step by step in another playlist named Volume, but for those who are familiar with charts and they can comprehend and understand what I'm saying, we are going to have some ultimate videos like this one. Thank you for your watching, and your subscription, your like, and your comment, especially if you have a question you can ask me on the comments, will help me to continue my work in this channel. I have some personal channel, I can save my time for those channels, but I like to share my knowledge with other people in other countries. Anyway, your support is going to help me a lot in these dark times. We are in an internet blackout in Iran, and I can't connect to the markets, YouTube, any other platforms easily. Thank you for your watching and your support. You can subscribe to channel to support me if I could add something to you with this channel. Thank you and goodbye.